Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Hello Smut Squad and welcome back to the channel. We're going to the N64 today and I'm looking at games which I think are still absolutely kick-ass. They're basically games which you could play today and have as much fun as you did back when you were younger, and there's nothing that can really replicate it. And no, GoldenEye is not appearing on this list because I think GoldenEye takes a bit to get back into, and I love GoldenEye, don't get me wrong, but modern day shooters have made it pretty hard to go back to GoldenEye because of the whole, you need to stand there and aim, which is just weird. I know people can come at me and say, well, you can use the C-stick, I know, but it's not the same when you've got dual analog. We all know it's true. As always, I want to hear your experiences and the games which I think I need to talk about. If you want to help the channel grow, please hit that like and hype button, as that is what helps the channel go up on the algorithm. You can also subscribe for more content. We've got the weekly podcast which you can join in, and we've also got a Discord where it's free, and the link is in the description below. Right, let's get into it, shall we? Some kick-ass games for the N64. Mario Golf 64. Don't get me wrong, I know there are other golf games. I know there are other Mario Golf games that have been out. There's Toadstool, the Toadstool one for the GameCube. There's the recent one which has come out. But this was the one that I fell in love with as a kid. I absolutely loved it. You know what, Tiger Woods? Suck it. I would rather play Mario Golf 64 than a Tiger Woods game any day of the week. This game is just so much goddamn fun. Yes, there are loads of random human characters that you have to play with first. Don't clip that, that sounds weird. But I had so much fun doing it. I love the fact that if you want to go get a new character, you have to beat them on a one-on-one match over 18 holes of pure concentration. And they're usually better than you because the new characters can only hit further. And yes, the computer can understand which way the ball's going to go, so they had no problems. But I love doing it. The concentration you needed when I was using Luigi to try and get a new character. I would lock in. I was like, right, let's go for a leisurely day of golf. We're all sorted. My mum would be like, are you coming out? Nope, I've got a day of golf ahead of me. A lot of concentration. I need to get the best score I can. And I love golf. I love playing golf itself. I'm not that good, but I like playing it. But this was just a great simulator. Yes, I know there are more realistic ones out there, but for me, this was all I needed. I didn't like the fact when you got better characters like Bowser, who could hit like an absolute truck. He would hit the ball so far right, I'd be like, where the fuck is that going? We use the AI knows exactly where it's going. I had no idea with the draw and fade. I was like, why is he hitting it so far right? I said, how about just turn your club? Just turn your grip just a little bit, and you shouldn't have a problem. You could decide which way you wanted to hit the ball, whether you want to try and hit it for the left side, right side, put top spin on it, back spin on it. You could change your clubs. I loved all of it. It was a great little simulator. The courses were fun. The little boo in the top corner was brilliant, telling which way the wind is. Now, I know there were extra characters you could use, the transfer pack. I didn't get that far. No chance. So we just had our traditional base characters that I was able to earn for the game. I love the fact when you got on the green, the commentator was so far and he goes, ooh, nice shot. And when you're on the green and you just miss, you can just hear the sigh in the commentator's voice. I used to love getting on the green as well. It's like, oh, deep concentration. Let's get your putter out. And then you think, fuck it, now let's just get the wood out and smash it. The mini golf was absolutely amazing as well, and that's where I had the most fun with my friends. Yes, I like playing the main game, but they didn't so much like it. But the mini golf, hilarious. Just put ultimate power on there and just see what happens and hope the ball stays in the actual little course, because if it bounces out, you get a two-stroke penalty. But if you can just smack it as hard as you can and just let it ping, 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 and hope it goes in, hours of fun. And the other thing, oh my god, the chirping. You could chirp. You could absolutely chirp your opponent, so as he's going to hit, all you could hear is Yoshi going, yes, or was it the doo-doo noise he used to do, or Donkey Kong going, I can't do a monkey noise, leave me alone, but just having like, shut up, and all your mates are just pressing the C buttons or the chirp buttons as loud as they could. Oh my god, I love this game, it's so much fun. Whoever thought that Mario Golf would be a multiplayer success, but it goddamn was. Ogre Battle 64, person of lordly caliber. I'm sorry, that is an absolutely terrible name. I don't care what anyone says, that is an absolutely terrible name. My throat is so croaky, by the way. I am so sorry. That is a dreadful name. Either way, it is a fantastic little game. Well, I say little game, it's quite big. And this has been made by Atlas and Quest. This is a game I probably got the least experience with compared to the others because, well, I didn't really play this when I was a kid. I don't think it was even available in Europe, in good old England. I don't think it was there. But after playing Unicorn Overlord and absolutely dominating that game because it's awesome, I got into Ogre Battle 64 because, well, I've got to play retro games. Now, you play as Magnus Gallant, it's a great game, a young graduate of the Central Military Academy, and you're basically thrusting revolution against the Holy Lotus Empire. Good old Lotus Empire, those naughty, naughty little boys. Now, this is like a real-time strategy game, and you're commanding multiple units, and there's squads of up to 5 soldiers, you've got a huge map, and you've got to capture all the enemy strongholds in the real time, and when the enemies are walking around like do, if they meet, if your squads meet with an enemies, the game shifts into like an automated battle where the positioning and where you put all your units will determine the outcome. And I love that. And again, after playing Unicorn Overlord for so long, I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. So it wasn't like, oh, I've got no idea how this works. But the game is huge, which means battles take a while. There are so many different enemies, but you've got loads of different units and hundreds of little soldiers that you need to try and get their equipment done, you need to get their classes sorted, and it's a big, highly organised menu thing, and I love that sort of thing. Give me menus left, right, centre. Give me ones which I have to sit there for hours on end and tinker. Like I've just finished Final Fantasy VI, and there's some tinkering on there, but if you gave me a game like Unicorn Overlord, oh my god, the level of tinkering I have to do is just incredible. Like I sit there and I look at the success of Unicorn Overlord, keep going on about it, and I'm like, why wouldn't you just remake Ogre Battle 64? Atlas are big enough, Quest are big enough, just remake it, or bring out another one. We all want these type of games, just give us it. Now! And I'll be very happy. Banjo Kazooie. Yes, I've talked about Banjo Kazooie before, and I still think it is better than Mario 64. I will fight you on that hill. I don't think Super Mario 64... Well, I think it's a great game. It is. I think Banjo Kazooie is better, but I think there are better Super Mario games you can play. You've got Super Mario Galaxy, you've got Super Mario Odyssey, whereas Banjo Kazooie, I think that's incredible. I have so much fun playing that today, and maybe part of that is the fact it's the writing, because Gruntilda is the bad guy. She's this witch who's basically after Banjo's sister Tooty to steal her beauty, and I'm not gonna lie, I want Gruntilda to win. Like, have you ever seen the game over screen? And she comes out looking like a green-skinned version of Nicole Scherzinger. I'm like, I don't see a problem with this. Asking the question, we asked it last episode, is it wrong to tap that? Not Tooty, I'm asking Gruntilda, evil Gruntilda, is it wrong to tap that knowing the process that she did? Damn, woman, damn, imagine a HD remake of that. Probably gets censored left, right, centre. Now, the game itself is a big collectathon, and it has 9 massive worlds where you're after the jiggies, along with different things like notes. There are lots of things you've got to collect. But I love it. Unlike Mario 64, where every time you gain a star, you get kicked out of the world to go back in again, here, no, you just go collect a Jiggy and go on to the next thing. There are loads of different things that Banjo and Kazooie could do. The fact that they could fly, Kazooie could fire eggs out of her mouth, Banjo can do backflips, but there's also the best bit of the game was the fact that you go on Kazooie's back legs and go round and say it again at people. And if you're not playing that game doing it, that's the only way to play it. You can change into different animals because of Mumbo Jumbo, and he'll turn you into a termite and a crocodile, and that gives you different physics and basically go try to get more jiggies. I just had so much fun playing this game, and I still do when I go back to it. The writing itself is funny as Gruntilda and Kazooie and Bottles. Bottles, the mole, just give each other really sarky comments. Like, Kazooie's a bit of a snappy bitch. I wouldn't want to come across her in a bar. She'd kick my ass and she'd just probably outmouth me. That sounds weird. Don't cut that. I'm not cutting it, but just don't clip it. I just think this is an awesome game. Again, I think it's better than Super Mario 64. People argue in the comments below that I'm completely wrong. People say that Banjo Tooie is the better game. Look, I just have Banjo Kazooie up there because it's comfort food for me. It plays really well. I don't have any issues with it. I think it's still an incredible game. And yeah, one of the best on the N64. Paper Mario. Now, I have now played the Thousand Year Door, but before that I got the chance to play Paper Mario because it came available on the Nintendo Switch Online, and I was really upset that I never played this back as a kid. I probably brushed it off like maybe others did because, it's a cartoon-ish game. No, it's not. Well, it is. Mario is a cartoon, so why this was an issue. But basically, it's an RPG. It's a bit of a spiritual successor to Mario RPG that was on the Super Nintendo, and basically turned it into its own new thing and its own franchise, where now Mario is made out of paper. But the story itself is where Bowser has stolen the Star Rod, imprisoned 7 Star Spirits, and actually lifted Peach's castle into the sky. Look, we had this thing before. If you put that back down, is everything going to work the same? I had this same issue with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 when Shredder decided to lift Manhattan. You can't just lift it and then dump it back down and everything's going to be magic and okay and work exactly the same. I don't think that's how it works. I think there's a lot of things that go wrong. I think a lot of things will die. I think basically you'd need to destroy and redo the whole city if you were going to do that. I know I'm going on a tangent, leave me alone. But this game itself is an action RPG. Like, exploration itself feels like a classic Mario, but the combat is turn-based, and you've got different partners who can help through your adventure, and your teammates are actually, well, normally bad guys who you kill, but here, no, they team up with you. Now, you've got 2 Koopas, you've got a Bomb, and they each have their own unique ability to solve puzzles in the overworld, or have different commands in battle. Like, I love Bobette. I think Bobette was awesome. She was just way good fun. But there are some enemies or bosses that you have to switch your partners in because they'll probably do better when it comes to facing that challenge. When you go round the world map, they lean into this as Mario is paper, he's flat, so the aesthetics are absolutely beautiful and they still hold up today even though it's been many years. But even when Mario goes into pipes, he folds himself up and jumps into the pipe. Brilliant, I love it. And when you go into battle, you have a various range of commands. And if you can time it well, if you can push the action button where an enemy hits, you can actually block it or reduce damage, which is really helpful, especially when you're fighting some of these bosses. The combat works really well. Bowser is absolutely hilarious in this game. Luigi's in the game, he just sits at home. I would have liked to bring Luigi into this game. He could have been good fun, he could have been one of your partners. But all in all, this started off a new franchise which is still going to this day, and I think everyone should give this game a look because it really does hold up because of that 2D paper aesthetic. It's absolutely timeless, and I had so much fun with this, more fun than I ever thought I was going to, and I was like, yeah, awesome. And I really do like to go back to the start of a franchise to see where it all began. And I also like it more than Super Mario RPG. Sorry, I do. I think this is a much better game. People are going to hate me in the comments, but that's fine. Argue with me all you want. Lilac Wars, or Star Fox 64, because I know people will complain at me. This is a remake of the Super Nintendo version, which that just felt like a tech demo, and this truly felt like what Nintendo wanted to produce. You play as Fox McCloud, leader of the Star Fox team, and after the mad scientist Andros declares war on the Lilac system, you and your wingmen, Falco, Peppy, and Slippy, must blast your way across space until you get to the heart of planet Venom to finish Andros once and for all. Lilac Wars is an on-rail shooter where you've got to destroy everything you can see while dodging the enemy's fire and also the obstacles that come your way. This game introduced the Rumble Pack, so you put it into the back of your controller with your batteries, and every time you fired a laser or you took a hit, the Rumble Pack would essentially give you some feedback, and it was up to you how much you wanted to get, but when you got hit, that control was like oh my god, so you could really get involved and have that sense of immersion. I think this game still holds up beautifully today, and it's still so much fun to play if you just want to jump in, because an on-rail shooter, it just focuses on the graphics in front of it. Although it does go into 360 R-Wing modes, which are so much fun. I couldn't believe the first time I had to do that. Because some of the bosses, yes, you have to fight them in a 360 arena, but it's when you arrive on some planets and it's literally a huge dogfight, and the game goes, yep, open up your wings, let's go in there, and Fox will be going around and suddenly you'll hear, hey, Bill! It's like, who the fuck is Bill? Like, we're meant to know who Bill is? But those dogfight scenes where you're just trying to fly around as much as you can and just take out as many people as you could, incredible. You had to fight the Star Wolf team, I think it was called the Star Wolf team, and again, the first fight wasn't too bad, but the second time you fought them, oh, literal hell, where you've got to go against the rival team and destroy them before they destroy you. Your teammates are also there to try and help you. Some of them can actually take you to a secret path. Falco is just a big dick, And sometimes I'm like, yeah, just do it yourself. Do it yourself, have fun, then come complain and bitch to me when you get your ass handed to you. You've got Peppy, who is your father's friend and is now your mentor, and yes, Slippy Toad. Everybody loves Slippy Toad, apparently. But I know he talks in this one, and he's still an absolute arsehole, but the Super Nintendo version is the way forward. Say it all again, people, we know it's happening. I miss that sound. It's so much fun. But as always with Slippy, I just wish he would die, but he has to suddenly come to the end of the journey with you. I'm like, oh, I'd rather you just crash and burn, because they don't retire, they die, and that's the way I want to see it. There are other vehicles that you could use, such as a submarine as a tank, nowhere near as fun. They were just put in there to add a bit of variety. Don't like them. I just want to get in my spaceship and just shoot stuff. Like, I know we've got the barrel roll and there's no sensor of direction, and that's fine when you're in the R-Wing or when you're in space. But when you're on the ground with a tank and you're suddenly flipping it, there's gotta be some claims there. There's no way you're not getting whiplash or possibly even death or breaking your neck just having this random tank do a flip in the middle of the road. Makes no sense. Make it make sense, people. There was also a multiplayer, but it wasn't that good. We don't talk about the multiplayer. Super Smash Bros. Now, I know you can sit there and say, well, you've got Smash Bros. Ultimate. Why do you just want to go and play that instead of playing the original N64 game? Well, hear me out. Because the N64 game, unlike any of the other entries in Smash Bros., plays very differently. The game received a total overhaul when it got to the GameCube, but the N64 version still kept its original charm, and I can still play that and still have a really good time, and then go, okay, Smash Bros. Ultimate is another way of playing that game, probably maybe the better way, but I had so much more memories playing the version on the N64, and Pikachu was broken, and he was my main character, so of course I was going to play that more and more because I could absolutely dominate shit. Like, there's no complex lore in this game. You essentially are in a child's imagination, and he brings 8 starting characters and then 4 secret characters to life to have them kick ass. The idea shouldn't work, because why would it work? But people loved it. Seeing Mario fight Link or Donkey Kong or Pikachu asked that old question, like, who would win in a fight? The game itself, though, is a fighting game or a platform multiplayer part, I don't know what you class it as. But rather than remove your opponent's health bar, which might start at 100, here they start at 0, and the aim is to increase the damage to allow you to hit them further, so you'll be able to hit them to the side and off the screen, or completely above and they literally may splat on the top screen. It's a very different concept that I wasn't used to, but took a lot of practice, and once I had it down, it's all I ever wanted to play. It also had 4 secret characters you had to try and work out who they are. One was Luigi, great. One was Captain Falcon, awesome. One was Jigglypuff. No, my throat's not good enough for that at the moment. It still needs some more water down it. And the other one was Ness, and many people would have gone, who the fuck is Ness? Just wait till you get to the next game. We're going to be asking the question about Fire Emblem characters, like who the hell are absolute these people? They're just ridiculous. The game itself was an incredible homage to Nintendo's big catalogue. You had Donkey Kong Zone, you had a Mario Zone, you had a Zelda Zone, you had a Pokemon Zone, you had a Metroid Zone. Like, every character had their own stage, well, near enough every character had their own stage, and it just felt like you were just playing in that game. So when you're in the Metroid levels, you're feeling like, yeah, this is Metroid. When you're in Saffron City, you can see Pokemon coming everywhere. There's also items that they've thrown in to make it more fun. Well, I say items. One, the lightsaber. The Pokeball's great because there's random Pokemon coming everywhere. Then you've got DK's hammer, which basically means run away until that runs out, because if DK's hammer hits you, you're in a bad spot because that did so much damage. You can have 4 players at once battling it out, and that's where a lot of my memories come from, because I used to body my brother and his mates just using a Pikachu, because Pikachu was absolute broken. When then he got completely nerfed in the next game, I was like, oh, why isn't he kicking everyone's ass? Why isn't he absolutely dominating? Well, that's why. Because Nintendo saw he was too goddamn good and had to take his legs away from him. It's alright, Pikachu. I think me and you can go in the battles ahead in the future. We just need to lose a bit of weight. You know, don't go back to chunky Pikachu, and I'll lose some weight, you lose some weight, and then we'll go to war. I've been ranting off. I don't even know if I'm making sense anymore. I'm so tired. And finally, Mischief Makers. Again, this was a game that I never played back in the day, which is a real shame. I don't know if it ever came. I'm sure it did come out in UK. I just don't think it blew me away for its original design, which is a shame because I wasn't into anime-esque games back then. And I think I would have given this a chance if it was now, if I had today's mentality. And essentially you play as Marina, who's an ultra-intergalactic Cybot G, and you must rescue her kidnapped creator, Professor Theo, for the Emperor of Planet Klance. Now this game isn't a run and jump, it's a grab and shake. So you've got to snatch enemies, projectiles, and objects out of the air, shake them to transfer their properties, and then throw them back at the enemy. That's an interesting core loop, which I don't think many games have been able to replicate since. It's got some incredible sprites that still really hold up, and it does make you feel like you're playing a Saturday morning cartoon. The anime aesthetic absolutely holds up. The bosses are huge, the game looks absolutely beautiful, and it's hard. It's tough. It's not an easy game, it's challenging, and that's what you want in these sort of games. But also having that 2D effect with 3D elements, or 2.5 3D if you want to call it that, it means they can focus on the game doesn't have any slowdown, and you're able to get the best graphics you can at the time. But it probably got poo-pooed because it wasn't full 3D, which is what a lot of people were gravitating to back then. But when you go back, you can go, actually no, this game really does hold up. Like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That took a bit of a beating when it first came out, but then people went back to it, and actually this is one of the best games ever made, which I'll stand by. But it's 2D graphics. 2D graphics can still be really great. It did have voice clips in there, but they were compressed as shit, so not good at all. But the soundtrack itself, fantastic. You had synth pop, you had industrial beats, and it basically allowed the N64 to produce some great little tunes you can bop to. I think this is one which I will definitely be covering for the podcast one day, because I think it's awesome. I think it is one of the best games for the N64. It stands up. I could have put Mystical Ninja Goemon 2 here as well, but I decided to put Mischief Makers because I know a lot of you have a lot of remembrance and a lot of fun with this game, and I want to hear your stories about it. So let me know in the comments below. And that is it. Some games which I still think are kick-ass for the N64. Are the ones that I need to talk about? Well, put them in those comments and let me know, and tell me about your experiences. I need to hear it. As I said at the beginning, and always, if you do think I deserve it, please hit that like and hype button, as that is what helps the channel grow. And I'll see you all again for a few days for another video. My name's been Danny. Take care of yourself. Follow your dreams.